Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me here at this little YouTube channel in this moment in space and time. And a special hello, especially if you are born on the Sagittarius Capricorn cusp. That is why this video is created. This is why we are able to be together here in this moment in space and time, because you do identify as being born on that cusp, or perhaps you have a lot of Sagittarius and Capricorn overlap in your chart. That will work as well. If you've got one in the moon, one in the sun, one in the ascendant, one in the moon, it all kind of works out that way. But in particular, for those born on the cusp, I was really inspired to do these readings to give you guys the extra content that you deserve for having to put up with two different energies that are sometimes conflicting. Sometimes, they work together in harmony and you get an extra boost. But nonetheless, right, we don't want to forget about you guys. Well, especially I didn't want to forget about these guys. And I also wanted to extend this offer. It's more of an offer for you to participate a little bit with this channel, and kind of like it's a bit of an enticement, I guess you could say. I'm giving away these two little party books sort of after all of the October readings are complete. I will be doing a little giveaway on the video blog that I do about tarot called Norrin's Roundtable. And this month the giveaway is these little books. One is on palm reading, and the other one is on handwriting analysis and intuitive discernment into handwriting, right? Being able to have somebody like sign their name or write a sentence and then learn all about them just from the way they shape their letters. They're kind of cool little books. So if you're interested in these, please leave an inspired comment, a meaningful comment, or just let me know in the comments sections why you would be interested in this. And I'm likely, not promising anything, but I'm likely to enter you into putting some names in the hat for that. It's not like an official raffle. I don't have like a lottery license or anything, but please do. I want to encourage you to comment, and you might be on the mailing end of those little books. Okay, Sagittarius Capricorn, I put these cards down, and you know what? You guys are kind of getting the short end of the stick. Well, not really, but this card, Between Worlds, it was shared between the two signs as the Wisdom Oracle. Both signs pulled this particular card as the Wisdom Oracle, sort of as like what is resounding sort of in the backing, the overarching energy at this time, okay? And this card lets me know that there is a balance that you are receiving. There is harmony right now between Sagittarius and Capricorn, all right? Our left is going to represent Sagittarius for this reading. The right is going to represent Capricorn. We're going to pull some additional tarot and get into it, but let's just take a look at the oracle cards that you've received, all right? Now, on the Sagittarius side, there is this card of Golden Palace, which is always nice because this card speaks to sanctuary. It speaks to, when they reach a plot line in the movie where they've like just escaped some danger and then they get to someplace safe and the audience can all like kind of breathe a sigh of relief that they're there, they are safe, they got some time to regroup and get their poop in a groove before the next sort of adversity or the next section comes along. That's what this Golden Palace card speaks of. This is taking a moment to rest, to reflect, to enjoy, okay? So periodically this will be occurring for you in October, I feel, where you'll just get a sense of but like more like, just taking the edge off, just being able to relax and enjoy yourself. Situations where you could have like been fighting or there could have been adversity in your path before seem to be opening up, or you seeming to find a place where you can plan things out a little bit more. Some of you could be spending a lot of time in your study, at your writing desk, at your easel, maybe doing art, things like that. Some of you could be finding like fine furnishings for your home, purchasing new art, things of that nature going on with this card. When we look at it on a deeper level, this is sort of like when you hear of people speaking of like golden white light as well. There is angelic protection and harmony for you at this time, and even some guidance if you're keen enough to pick up on the sort of the subtle clues that could be coming from nature. This could be like nature giving you signals of it, like ancestors in the form of like birds, or in a sort of a sudden stillness that you might sense when you're walking out in the autumn forest, and there's just this quietness that exists in nature, and it's like some of you will be very alerted to some of the higher frequencies, higher energies going on. Okay, because on the Capricorn side, we have a situation that's been commanding a lot of your attention, I feel, and commanding a lot of like your well-being, sort of dictating your well-being a little bit, because there's something that you're investing a lot of focus, a lot of thought into right now, and you're placing a lot of emphasis on why certain things have occurred the way they have. And this could be in results to like recent breakups, arguing, or fundamentally even like bickering with one's own self. And I know that sounds really weird, but that's what's coming through. It's almost like somebody like kind of shouting into the mirror, or like trying to get their act together, but they're almost a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too assertive, forgetting to take time to breathe, to take time to remember the wholeness of spirit. It could be that your 9 to 5 grind has put a lot of pressure on you as of lately, and you've kind of had to come out of your place of stillness, and you've had to be very much more engaged perhaps than you would like with stuff that it just kind of serves an end, whether that be a paycheck or some sort of like something that you're doing out in the world. Okay, so don't let whatever your responsibilities direct your well-being. It almost has to be the opposite. Your well-being has to direct or be in charge of what you become responsible for. Because if we take on a lot and then we become unhappy because we're stretched too thin, or we are coming apart, as it were, inside, then it's time to revamp or rethink what we are doing. If it is in regards to a relationship, just maybe you want to take a look at how different, or the similarities between you and your partner, and are you guys fighting to make things work? Is it kind of like an unnatural and uneasy feeling to make things work? Because if it seems like a struggle, it may be time to take a significant break just to evaluate how you feel, or if you're feeling that you're refusing to consider a breakup because of the amount of time invested, it may be time for some of you to reevaluate that kind of in between stages, or between worlds, as it is. It's like sanctuary versus being out on the crusade, being out on the charge. They are two different worlds. They're two different sort of stages in the plot line or in the movies, and it's almost like you guys are kind of segueing between those things, as it were. Okay, so let's just take a look at tarot. Again, Sag Capricorns, thank you so much for your support. The last couple of months where I've done the CUSP readings, the support has been overwhelming. I want to thank you guys for all viewing and giving me thumbs up, because it means so much when I get to see that you guys are receiving and reacting to these in such a positive way. It gives me the green light to go ahead and keep doing them, right? So again, thank you so much for that. How we're going to do it is I'm going to cut the deck into 3. One is going to be for Sagittarius, one going to be for Capricorn, and then we're going to have a best path to follow card for you guys, and maybe some clarifiers along the way if we need them. Okay, so that's what we got going on there. All right, I think tarot is asking to be like mixed up just a little bit more. Keep flipping, keep going, that kind of thing. I'm trying to streamline these, keep them a little bit shorter than the generals. Thanks again for checking out the general readings. And yeah, anytime you guys want to leave a lengthy or enlightened comment, or even reply to somebody else's comment to help encourage them, I really encourage that on this channel. And it's like it makes me so happy to do that reading and responding. I don't respond to every single comment, but I do read them all, and I will respond to like 95% of them probably. All right, there we go. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Let's take a look at Sagittarius first. 3 of Wands. Okay, so that definitely describes that very much so. That segue, that being in between sections. She's on land, but she's staring out over the ocean. There is a journey that is waiting to be had, but right now she's taking time to gather up her strength, gather up her courage, and actually formulate a plan, actually prioritizing what her passions are and what she wants to do before she makes the commitment to go out into uncharted waters. The 3 of Wands is very much about that. And sometimes it does. It involves like putting things on the back burner in favor of doing things that maybe are a little bit more rewarding in the present moment. It may be sometimes be putting away current responsibilities to tend to things that need to be wrapped up, or closure that's brought it to. Whatever it is, there's a sense of prioritizing about this, and also sometimes there is a little bit of sense of forgiveness going on within oneself. So it's good to see this balancing out over on this side. if there is a situation where you feel at odds or you feel a large gap or difference between different sides of yourself or between you and a partner, this Three of Wands is saying, put your focus, put your emphasis and highlight the middle ground. The things that when you reach middle ground or when you kind of are in between that bring you happiness, that, you know, is it all worth it wherever you are? Like if you're too far left, you're too far right. For some of you, it might be political views. For some of you, it might just be your energy levels. Or for some of you, it might be the amount of sacrifice you make in a relationship, right? Try and highlight or emphasize the middle ground. It's like when you make a pros and a cons list of something. It's right. Try and find the things that are like almost like indifferent or could go either way. And there may be some sort of clue or inspiring thing that helps you make a decision or helps you to decide, I'm going to have the courage to make a leap of faith, to go out into uncharted waters and do new things. And what if it means that you're coming apart from something, someone in your environment, you may decide to go ahead and do so. And if it means realizing more about who you are and putting yourself first so that you are actually coming together, finding a place of wholeness in yourself, then that will be what you are doing in this case. And it may take some time. You may spend the entire month sort of in planning and in wonder and in deliberation, but it's okay, because remember, the Golden Palace is saying, you've been presented with the opportunity to do this in some sort of firm, comfortable type sanctuary. So it's okay. Take the time that you need, you guys. All right? Now, over here on the Capricorn side, we've got a Page of Wands. All right. And this is good because this balances back out to your fiery nature in Sagittarius, right? But the Page of Wands also, it says that there needs to be some level of confidence. I think if you guys had a return of confidence, or if you were to say maybe do something that was rewarding to self, or maybe some sort of self-affirmation that you could do to bring your self-esteem back to a level where it was before you maybe started coming apart, or before you felt torn in between two things, two people, two worlds even. Because sometimes when we get pulled apart in that way, or we're forced with like having to choose this or that, or A over B, sometimes what suffers on a subtle level, and we don't even notice it till it's gone, is our courage and self-esteem. And it's like you may not even be in acceptance of the fact, well, no, my self-esteem's fine. I'm happy with who I am. But you have to be very honest with yourself and say, is there a little bit of denial that has creeped in? And are you truly feeling 100% courageous and confident in yourself? Or are you masking that with other little things that you may be doing at this time? All right. Now, the theme and the thing that I see with these wands that have come up here is the ignition of passion. We have to make sure that, like, when if we say to ourselves, yes, I'm going to be passionate about that, or yes, I'm going to give it my all, the commitment or the discipline and the regimented schedule behind that is what I feel might be waning, or what I feel might be requiring a little bit more focus. Sort of jumping with both feet rather than being like 1 foot in, 1 foot out on certain things, right? And it's okay if you do that. Just remember, you may be creating more adversity for yourself if you are not, allowing resounding yeses be resounding yeses and absolute no's being absolute no's. No fence sitting, no wishy-washiness. It will not serve you very well, because there is harmony, as I feel you guys are going through a transition, a certain segue of chapters in your life, in your journey, but it's calling for commitment. It's calling for a charge forward, not so much a wishy-washiness. Be in the planning stage, be in the relaxed, the sanctuary, or go out and go get it done. It's kind of like you can't have 1 foot out the door and being like, oh, it's a little bit too scary out there, I'm coming back in, right? That kind of thing. It's one or the other, I feel. And that can be applied to almost any situation that you guys have set in your intention for this reading, okay? Apply it as such. Oh my goodness. We've got a reversal on this Empress card is your best path to follow. It's interesting, as I do these cup readings, the amount of times the major arcana is coming up with an overarching card for the best path to follow. And you guys have pulled this this reverse on this Empress. So another 3 that we've got here. So there's harmony that you guys are striving for, I feel, within yourself. And I feel that it's already there. I just feel that you guys have to sort of embrace it and fully capitalize on it. And if you're spending too much time worried about what the other person is doing, what the other person is thinking, whether it's a he or she, you may be missing out on the subtle opportunities for personal growth at this time. It's almost like your focus needs to be on where you are going, not who is beside you or who is kind of holding your suspenders from behind, as it were. I got this little vision of like this little boy trying to go forward and the little girl's holding the back of his suspenders, and he like is struggling to move forward and he can't, right? So with this Empress card, it's kind of like if you're wishing to bring about growth, if you're wishing sort of for an absolute progression or catalyst, something to propel you forward, there needs to be a certain disbanding or closure that is brought to a situation of somebody or something that had previously been tearing you apart. Okay, it's almost like, where is your guys' sense of self-nurture? Have you been stretching yourself too thin for the benefit of other people, and your level of self-care is not there, right? That's the question I have, right? And the Empress is for you. It's like, well, if it feels like the environment is kind of drying up, if it feels like we're having to do all these things like to spruce up the place or to make our environment, why does it always seem like a subtle, like a battle to become content in our environment? And it almost says that there's some inner work that needs to be done. It's almost like the between worlds and the coming apart thing. It's like, it's nothing really bipolar. It's just saying like, we need to commit, or we need to have a resounding attitude towards moving forward at this time, right? We don't want to spin our tires. We don't want to be stuck in the mud. It's like almost has that feeling to it where it's like you have an opportunity to get out now. You have an opportunity to move forward in the moment. So don't delay. It's like what's that old advertise? Act now. Supplies are running out. For the first 100 callers, that kind of thing. It's like you guys, I feel, need to establish a plan, do it very quickly, and then move forward. And that's kind of what your October has in store for you. So it's tough to see. Now, for some of you, this is going to involve a relationship within the home. For some of you, this could involve moving in with somebody, or the decision. Maybe there's a special someone in your life that's asked you to try cohabitating with them, or an engagement, or saying like, let's try and live together for a little while. We've been dating for X amount of months, and they're wanting to take it to the new step. And it's like, you're kind of like, well, wow, my independence is really could be up in the air, at risk here, but you maybe truly love this person or really want to give it a chance, but it's kind of like requiring this act of faith and a little bit of confidence to go ahead and do so. Kind of between two worlds and sharing worlds. The coming apart, I feel, is more like you maybe having to make a transition and enter into something that's a little bit more interdependent rather than purely independent kind of thing, right? Or perhaps you have somebody who you've asked to take things to the next step, the next level, and they're being wishy-washy, and it's almost like leading you to like kind of become impatient, right? Or thinking, well, what the hell is wrong with me? Why can't they just commit at this time? That sort of thing. But be patient with this person. And remember that their decision has to be theirs alone. To be yourself is all you can do. Put your focus on you. And if it's meant to be, if that person wants to be a part of your life, they will end up making that commitment. And if they sit on the fence for too long, one day they may wake up and it's too late, because you're out there going about having your own happiness and bringing your own nurture into your world, not relying on somebody else for these things of faith and confidence. Okay? Guys, I think that one went a little longer than I would like to, but I'm glad we could get down to the root of the matter there for you. So, Sagittarius, Capricorns, blessings being born on the cusp. Love you all, and we'll see you next time.